Hello, I'm Dylan. Welcome to Bundesliga. Yeah, well, the Germans, they have their own Premier League. Yeah, I know. Who'd have thought it? Yeah, the Germans have their own Premier League. Do you remember, what was his name? Norwich striker. Harry Kane, that's him. Do you remember him? Yeah. Plays in the German Premier League now. Or rather, as I should say, plays in the Bundesliga. Now this channel, cleverly, you might have noticed, is called Bundesliga. And in this channel, I'm going to have a look at the wonderful world of German football. But today, I want to explore a question that you will be asking yourself. You'll be saying, that's all very well and good, German football, Bundesliga, but I've heard from a very reliable source, i.e. randos on the internet, your mate Barry from down the pub. The Bundesliga is a farmers' league. Yeah, I know, right? It's a common accusation, but is it true? Well, that's what we're going to look at. That's what we're going to look at today. Now, of course, you'll be asking yourself, well, hold on, Dylan. Who are you to be pontificating about such matters? Well, let me tell you, I've been watching the Bundesliga for three seasons. So compared to someone who's never seen it, kind of an expert. No, of course not. Look, if you want insightful, if somewhat self-satisfied analysis of the Bundesliga, then you got the Gegenpressing podcast. Off you go. Go to that channel. But if you want to have a rough idea about the Bundesliga, German football in general, then this is the place for you. Okay, so let's begin and explore this very interesting claim, often tossed liberally in the direction of the Bundesliga, that it is a farmers' league. Okay, so where does this claim come from? Well, for the most part, it comes because of Bayern Munich, right? Bayern, they win the Bundesliga almost every year, and that makes it a farmers' league, right? Because it's not competitive. You've just got one team that's dominant. Same accusation is made at Ligue 1, for example, in Paris Saint-Germain. But is it fair to say that? Well, you might look at it and say, from the perspective of the Premier League, hold on, you've had Manchester City dominating. Before that, it was Man United. Does that make the Premier League a farmers' league? Right. Well, you'll come back and say, no, it's very different. Because while Man City have been dominant, they've had Liverpool hot on their heels. While Manchester United were dominant, they had Arsenal. In between those two sort of empires of dominance, you had Chelsea winning a few titles here and there. Okay, and that's true. But let's think, like a couple of seasons ago, Leverkusen won it, right? And all right, it would have been 11 seasons in a row, but the Bayern had won it. But then season before that, I mean, Dortmund came so close. Dortmund threw it away. So it's not all Bayern dominance. So you'll be saying to yourself, well, I mean, it's not that competitive though, is it? I mean, Dortmund aren't that competitive. Last season, normal service was resumed and Bayern won it again. And, well, what's going to happen this season? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen this season. Probably Bayern will win it again. I'm not going to lie to you about it. So does that make it a farmers' league? Well, let's go a bit deeper on that question and ask, well, why are Bayern so dominant? And the answer is money. As per usual, they got pots of it, even more than the next team, the next richest team in the Bundesliga, which is Borussia Dortmund. They got comparatively quite a lot of money as well. Not as much as Bayern, though. Bayern are super, super rich, and obviously that helps. And in the past, what Bayern would do, if they didn't win the Bundesliga, they would look at their opponents, they would look at Dortmund, have a look at their players and go, yeah, we'll have Lewandowski, thanks very much, yeah, cheers, yeah, see ya. So it kind of created a glass ceiling that you could only get so far because Bayern's money would always win out. And it's true to a certain extent that, and it happens in every league, you know, you'll get clubs with money, they see a player, they see a team, and they strip their assets. It's just football, isn't it? It's just football. Just what happens. But what's been quite interesting, certainly this transfer window, you might have noticed, Bayern aren't getting the players that they want. And why aren't they getting the players they want? Well, because the Premier League, my friends. And if you support a Premier League team, one of the big six, financially, obviously, the big six, qualify that, then where have you gone looking to buy the striker you need? You've gone to the Bundesliga, right? So this Farmers League, which is full of dross, why are you buying players? Because they're not dross, that's why. But the problem is that now the Premier League used to be buying, now looks like the Premier League are stripping the Bundesliga of some of their best assets, and it's very difficult to rebuild and to continuously have success when you're losing your best players. Now, for example, Eintracht Frankfurt have been very successful. Ekatike, I can't even say it. Ekatike has gone to Liverpool. Mamouche went to Man City, but they've set up a particularly interesting model where they're prepared to let their best player go. They're prepared to take the money, and they've got an excellent youth system. They've got an excellent development, coaching and training system, and it'll be interesting to see how they do. So, in summary, what one could argue is that you've got people who support the Premier League and the Premier League itself saying, well, Bundesliga, not a very good league. It's kind of urinating down the back of the Bundesliga and telling it that it's raining. I'll leave you with that thought, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.